Hundreds of thousands of rail passengers are dealing with travel chaos this morning after a walkout by Southern Rail train drivers. This strike lasts 48 hours. There will be no trains. There are no trains on any route. It all started in a row over who would push the button to activate the train doors, drivers or conductors. Regular.
Maybe it's due to crew with flu, lack of ambition or vitamin C. I asked the unions, when will it end? Here's what they said to me.
Very frustrating, trying to get up to London, 8 months pregnant, so not really looking forward to having to probably stand all the way or not get there at all.
It's distressing, can't get a seat on most trains on normal days, and then when there's a strike it's just doubly disrupted, and right now I've left a bit later, I'm not sure when I'm going to get to work.
I've heard that people are just giving up and driving to Brighton.
I asked the government, when will it end? Here's what they said to me.
I'm just fed up to the back teeth of this. Week after week, it's the same thing all the time.
It's extremely tiring and inconvenient, and I have no idea what time I'll get home this evening.
Past couple of weeks I've been coming home 40 minutes later, the train's just constantly delayed.
Maybe they'll run, maybe they won't run. Maybe I'll get to see my kids before they go to bed tonight, maybe I won't. And it's all down to people who are at best incompetent.
Well, regular Southern Rail commuters say they're constantly met with delays, cancellations and nightmare journeys. Some say they fear losing their jobs because they're constantly late. Businesses say it's affecting their trade. Some have actually given up their jobs because they cannot cope with that commute anymore. It's so demoralising. Let's speak now to some pretty frustrated commuters. Peter Izzard commutes to London up to 5 times a week, actually. Emma Green had to quit her job. Matt Steele had to quit his job. Lee Lockwood, commuter who uses Southern Rail up to 6 times a week. Welcome all of you. Peter, how much do you pay for your rail ticket per year?
The princely sum of £4,172 to be exact.
Wow. And what do you think about what's going on?
Well, it's just an absolute debacle now. It's a war of attrition between the unions and the train companies. The service is deteriorating day in, day out. Total and utter uncertainty. You know, when you leave work in the evening, you just have got absolutely no idea how atrocious your journey is going to be, how long it's going to take, and whether you'll get home at all. It's absolutely awful.
Emma, you've quit your job because the commute to London from Littlehampton was just too much. That is a massive decision to make. Just to give us a little insight into why you were so hacked off with that journey.
Well, I had started a new job in London just in June, and having previously commuted, I thought it would be fine, there'd be no problems. But very, very quickly, within a week, I was having journeys home of anywhere up to 4.5 hours. And it should take an hour and a half on the train to do that journey. And I couldn't bear it. I was on the train talking to my son because I couldn't put him to bed, and crying, purely because I was letting him down, I was letting my family down, and I just had enough.
Have you been able to get other work?
Yes, I now commute to Portsmouth, which is an hour's drive for me, so I don't have to step foot on a southern train at all, thankfully.
Matt, tell us what you did as a result of these horrific journeys.
Yes, very similar to Emma. I'd previously commuted up to London, but I noticed from the beginning of the year that things were getting worse and worse on Southern. That's even before the strike started. And made the decision that I was no longer going to carry on in the job that I was doing and find a job closer to home, because I wasn't seeing my family. It was incredibly stressful because you didn't know what kind of day you were going to have. Often the journeys home were even worse than the journeys up. And so you ended up not seeing your children and getting home in time. You couldn't make arrangements with friends to meet people because you didn't know when you were going to be back. So very glad I changed jobs.
Lee, what about your own situation? Good morning.
Oh, good morning to you. Yes, it's absolutely horrific. It really is. In fact, when it's strike day, it's actually running better for myself. The service is abysmal. You don't know what's happening from one day to the next. It's getting steadily worse. It's just chaos. A commute to work should be, okay, not too bad. In fact, it's the worst part of my day, and that includes my 8-hour shift that I do a day. I'm lucky if I get home even half an hour late, and most days my partner is at the end of her tether. She's fed up with me being miserable, close to the point of tears. I'm just fed up with it, and I pay £55.20 a week. The reason why I don't pay for monthly or yearly travel tickets is I simply don't know where I stand with one week to the next, one day to the next. I have to judge it by week.
I want to ask all of you where you stand on this issue of driver-only trains. Should the driver be the one that closes the doors as opposed to a conductor? Now, Southern say it wouldn't just be a driver, it wouldn't just be one member of staff on the train. Yes, the driver would close the doors, but there would be another member of staff on the train. Do you care? What do you prefer? Does it matter? Would it be safer? What do you say, Peter?
Say very simply that part of the Southern network is run by Thameslink, and Thameslink are driver-only trains, and so that no one complains by that sort of thing. So it's all part of the same franchise. So my view is, look, it's as deemed as safe, and Southern are actually saying, allegedly, there will be another member of the train crew on the train. So I think the issue here is one of job preservation, in my opinion.
What do you say, Emma? Where do you stand on this issue?
I think the thing is, you've got so many people affected by this that it really actually doesn't matter now. What they need to do is all get around a table, talk about it, and actually put something in place which is going to improve our lives.
Lee, what about yourself?
No, God should be on the train. It's safer for many people, It's reassuring to see people on the train like guards. Just keeping an eye out for yourself. You only saw yesterday what happened at Forest Hill, a guy running amok with a knife. Now, whether there was a guard or not in there, you don't know. But the driver is in his cab. He doesn't know what's going on inside the carriage. Someone could be taken really badly ill. There could be someone with bad intent doing something to people. I've seen, actually, a woman trying to get a bike off a train. The train doors have shut on the bike. It's crushing the bike. The driver's still trying to slam the door shut, not even seeing what's going on. It took 3 of us to try and lift the doors to one side so we could get the bike open, the bike through the doors. The bike was crushed, but the driver didn't care. He didn't come out.
But I heard the boss of the company on the radio this morning saying it wouldn't just be the driver on that train. There would be another member of staff to do, to help with the squashed bike in the doors, for example.
You see it to believe it. Not being funny. The unions, the guards, they're going on strike for a reason. They don't want to do it. That's the last thing they want to do.
Okay, well, let me ask.
They're actually on the side. The commuters on the side,
Yeah, Matt, where are you on this? The boss said there will be no job losses.
Yeah, but I still think I'd prefer a guard being responsible for closing the doors. I think that sort of, this reliance on a CCTV camera that has a view up the side of the train. I appreciate on the Thameslink trains where you've got long straight platforms that maybe that will work. But for some of the stations that the Southern trains run in, the platforms are curved. You can't get a proper view down the back of the train unless you have a member of staff who steps off the train, looks up and down it, and then gets back on and closes the door when they know it's safe. You can't do that with the CCTV camera.
OK, so do you back the strike then?
Yes, I think I would. I think, having been a commuter for quite a while on Southern, this is not just about the doors. This is the fact that Southern lost the confidence of their staff years ago. You would hear the guards talking on the train about little things that were happening, to their shifts, to the way that they're working, and they were getting more and more fed up. And I think the door thing was just a catalyst for the fact that the management and the union stopped talking a long time ago and had entered a sort of trench warfare.
Quick yes or no from all four of you, if you wouldn't mind. The Transport Secretary says he wouldn't rule out banning strikes on railways. Peter, would you support that, yes or no?
Yes.
Emma?
No.
Matt?
No.
Lee?
No.
Are you sure?
Well, I just want it to end. Chris Grayling, it literally hasn't got a clue what's going on. If he did see, and it's plain to see for everyone, this service is abysmal. It's got to end. It has to. It's no good. People's lives are being ruined here, and it's just not right. It's just not right.
Thank you very much. Your frustration is coming through loud and clear. Thank you very much, Lee and Matt.